What's up everyone, Curtis here from Everything Entrepreneurial. In this episode I'm speaking with Alex Dunlop from Wunderbook app. That and more coming right up. Real people, real stories, real conversations. This is Everything Entrepreneurial, a podcast dedicated to entrepreneurship. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this is a place for you to learn from the experts, hear inspiring stories and gain valuable insights to help you on your business go to the next level. So, Alex, thanks very much for coming on Everything Entrepreneurial. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your current business?
No problem. My name's Alex Dunlop and I'm currently running Wunderbook and I own 2 Dublin-based gyms as well.
Very good. So tell us about Wunderbook, what's it all about?
Well, Wunderbook at the core of it is just a bookings and payment system, but what's unique about what we do is we don't charge the companies, the small companies that we sign up. We don't charge them any money. We charge a 2% booking fee to the users. And we have an open source community app that connects more companies. Like, so if you sign up on the app, you can see all the other companies that are on the app as well. So this, like if there's a sauna place beside a gym, they're both they can be aligned together and both places can be booked into a gym or a sauna session.
Very good.
And we're randomly, one of the things we're looking at is getting therapists on board. So we're trying to destigmatize all that sort of stuff. So you can book your therapy in and your gym session and just sort of normalize things that way, if you get what I mean. So any sort of services, even dog groomers and stuff like that, we're looking at. Have a carve.
So everyone, there's no particular service, like yoga studios, fine, gyms, possibly all of them.
Yeah, we have both gyms and yoga studios.
So tell us, where did this idea come from? Like, why did you even start the business?
Well, I've been in the gym business for a decade now. So having a gym business, I know that when you sign up to a booking system, when you're kind of locked into it, okay, they also charge you a lot and they tell you they're going to grow your community and stuff like that. But in reality, they sell you the software and kind of just forget about you. Right. And there's some of the systems out there are really good, but again, they haven't really helped in the sense of growing. They've managed all our bookings, which is priceless to me, to be fair. But I just thought that you could do it a little bit better without the commitment. The company that we were with the gym, is an American company, so really getting in touch with them is also very hard to do.
Heartache.
Tell me about it. Well, like you're paying them 250 quid a month.
Yeah.
They manage all your software and they do all that, which is great. And I honestly wouldn't have had a business without them. So I'm thankful to that. But again, with the small businesses, if I'm starting off, when I was starting off, we had to get a software to pay 250 quid when you're just starting off and you're paying your rents and your light and you're trying to get your stuff going. It's nice to have a community of support there behind you. So we figured that would be a niche that we don't charge the companies, we actually charge the end user. Mm-hmm. And then that fact of having an open source, the community aspect of working together. We've done like loads of events with different companies as well. We've linked them up with companies like Gym Plus Coffee, Avamore Protein Milk, Pro Coffee, who were kind of starting off at the same level as us. So they came on board and we did a Sunday sweat every Sunday up till Christmas time. And we got 4 gyms and they all did a free event every Sunday and people just came down and experienced their gym. And it got those guys new users and it got Pro Coffee, again, new users. We did the Gym Plus Coffee Community Day where we got a CrossFit session followed by a rebound session followed by a techno yoga event.
Yeah, so what did it look like then? So you had this idea, you felt like you could do it better. Community is very important to the business that you're building. So what was the roadmap like? So what did you do then? Like, did you have access to developers? Do you have experience yourself? Like, how did you actually bring the business to life, I suppose?
I had a little bit of... I did engineering in college and then I actually randomly played professional rugby, but I studied some web design and stuff like that. So I had some element of coding and stuff like that, but nowhere near what you need to do in app development. So there was a guy who I knew who was involved in that, Matt O'Sullivan was his name, and he hooked me up with a development side over, they're called YN Technology over in India. So they're our development side. He was on board with the start and then he ended up setting up his own thing. So now I'm just managing the development side of things with those. So I did all the graphic design and the UI, how it all would look. Do you get me? Sent it over to developers. For 2 years, randomly, I was developing the app, getting it all the way I wanted to. I'm like, you could just keep doing I would genuinely enjoy doing that till the cows come home.
Yeah.
Like, I just love development. We're still doing development, but we just wanted to launch. We just said, fuck it, we need to get out there and just start
getting
the product on board,
get feedback, iteration.
Exactly. And that's when I actually randomly learning that I was obsessed with 3-click booking, like making the booking system as easy and simple as possible. Log onto the app, pick your company, pick your event, and away you go.
Yeah.
And that was what I was obsessed with. And then you realize when you get out to the real world, people actually didn't give a shit about that. They kind of just expect the black box to be the black box and work.
Yeah.
They don't go, oh, a 3-click booking sandwich.
Yeah.
But what they do care about, and that's just from being with chatting to the companies that we deal with, it's that community aspect and growing together. Like everyone wants to like cross-pollinate between other people and sort of grow that way. And they don't give a fuck about the 3-click.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely lovely thing to have. And it's simplicity. Like I could book into 5 different events within 2 minutes and plan my whole weekend or my whole week on the app. Do you get what I mean? And that would be it.
So in regards to building the community, obviously you're using social media. Could you walk us through what your strategy is there, or how do you help other business owners kind of communicate and build the togetherness?
Yeah, well, that's where we started. So I was asked 6 months ago, kind of when we officially properly launched. We launched probably a year ago, and we had 1 or 2 companies testing the app, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. But I was asked 6 months ago, we were on 14 companies who were using the app, and I was asked by someone who said they'd invest money into us if we got to a certain amount of numbers. We'd have to get to 50 companies by New Year. And she goes, how do we get to where we get to? And I was like, we just need to showcase what we're doing. So we hired Quilty, who's our content creator, and he basically goes out to the companies, captures them and showcases those companies, these small companies that can't afford people to create content for them.
Yeah.
Captures their content, showcases them in the best possible light, and we collab them with that video. And I guarantee all the companies that they watch, if we collab that video, all their competitors are watching that. So if we do a really cool video, all the competitors, so our B2B marketing strategy will be to showcase companies, and then all their competitors will see that we're doing it. Yeah. I'd be like, I want a piece of that action.
Yeah.
And again, we're not charging the companies for this content. We give it to them because we have a vested interest in those companies doing better by because we don't make any money if they don't make any. So if they're doing shit,
yeah.
Do you get me? Now, all our goal is to try to get as many people in front of them as possible. If they run a shit service, no booking system or no company can help them anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm like, look, we'll try our best to help your company grow. We'll show you the best practices, like even ads and stuff like that, because the better they do, the better we're going to do. Like we only charge a 2% booking fee to the user, so like it's tiny. But again, we still have a vested interest in each company. So it's always nicer to have 2 people batting and working with you to go the same way than just by yourself in your own small community. It's better to have a lot more people working.
Yeah. So you've used social media to your advantage, and you've talked about in-person events. There's obviously a blend of in-person and online. What else have you been doing to market the business?
Well, randomly, this is where we might talk to you guys down the line, but all the stuff that we've done marketing-wise has been that showcasing other companies. We need to start linking it back to the app and the benefits of the app. The app being free. So all the content that we've been created has been about the companies, and now we're trying to market it back to the app and different things. That randomly has got us loads of companies to sign back up on board, and now it's just linking all that back to the app and getting a whole sort of cohesiveness. Because I'm not a marketer, never claimed to be. I did engineering in college. I ran the gym business for 10 years, a decade, still doing that. We have a new office now in Rathmines, which has a studio attached to it. So we just need everything to be linked together. We're trying to make the processes, like I don't want to spend all my time onboarding people. We have made the app very simple and easy to use, but like we don't want to spend all our time onboarding people how to use the software, which a lot of the other companies out there, you need a PhD to learn how to use them.
Yeah.
But we don't want to spend all our time doing that. We want to spend all our time helping them grow.
Yeah.
Like not being on the app. Like, do you know what I mean? We wanted the app to be very simple, clean, like a hospital almost. And we'll put links onto their social media. So you click onto their company and you can click onto their social media, where that's pretty much where they all are.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it used to be the businesses used to be on Facebook. Now they're on Instagram, and your personal stuff is more on TikTok now. So I find most of the businesses that we deal with are all on Instagram. So that's where we spend most of our time. And we're trying to grow those platforms and give different avenues, like kind of like this podcast as well. We want to give a podcast where we can get the companies on board and give them another platform to showcase what they do to the world. Because the best companies out there aren't, like the best coffee isn't Starbucks. It's the small little coffee shop in the corner. But we want to give those small coffee shops a platform to showcase what they do and be like, this is the best coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And give them a platform like, this is the best gym.
Yeah.
This is the best dog groomer. Do you get me? This is the best car valet service. Do you get me? And give them a platform to showcase and show people, and let the people decide which is the best by booking in and trying it. Sometimes those companies you wouldn't even know they existed. Yeah. So if we can give them a platform and get them out, that's what we'll do.
You're doing the Lord's work. Yeah, that's what it is. I'd love to know now. So you've obviously been an entrepreneur for over a decade. Why did you originally want to become an entrepreneur and set up your own business? What was it about that?
Well, I played professional. I was in college while I was playing professional rugby. Went over to England, came back, and I got probably the best job I could possibly get. I used to play professional poker to an extent as well, like online poker.
Yeah.
I used to play 10 games at one go, and the decision would just pop up and I'd make a decision on it. Click. And I got offered a job in a poker company called Full Tilt. It was Full Tilt Poker, but it was called Pocket Kings, and it was out in Cherrywood.
Right.
And I had the perfect time, so it was 7 a.m. to 3:30. So I was done by 3:30. I think it was done by 3 o'clock, and that was my day done. And I was sitting there catching people cheating, playing poker, which couldn't have been a better job.
Yes.
Then it was a sunny day out, and I was like, I can't be sitting at the desk all day. So I just decided that was the day when I knew I'd have to go do my own thing and try different things. I think my first company was I set up a tennis ball vending machine company back in the day. There's 157 tennis clubs. If anyone wants to take this idea and run with it, it could definitely be a good one. But 150 tennis clubs in Dublin, and we there's only 2 or 3 places you can buy tennis balls.
Yeah.
So we were saying, like, even the parks, if you could get vending machines in the parks. We were in Fitzwilliam Tennis Club, and we had a vending machine, and we went all right. I don't know, maybe we were making 50 quid a week or something. The kids kept robbing. To get the tennis balls out, you had to get rid of the safety hatch at the bottom because or else it would get stuck. Yeah. So the kids eventually, when we took that out, were putting their hand up to the machine and robbing all the grips and stuff that we had in there. So, and then my partner went off and lived in Oz for a while, so it just ended up falling apart. But it would be a good idea if there was actually a specifically made vending machine for tennis balls. That'd be a nice way to go.
And what, over your career of being an entrepreneur, what has been like the most difficult each time you've set up a business? Like, we all have obstacles every day, but what has really been like the toughest maybe thing that has been reoccurring for you, seeing as you're a serial entrepreneur?
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough with the app. I was lucky enough with that the gyms have been successful. Like, you always have to start off small, and like, I remember we set up the gyms and we only had like 14 mats, and we had 2 classes on. I think now we have 22 classes a day or something like that. And it's just financially, it's probably the hardest thing, first of all, because like, how'd you start with nothing? Like, we started with a loan of 15 grand, I think, in the gyms. Me and my partner set it up, and then we grew that over 3 years, and then we set up another gym, and then we doubled the size of the second gym, and we just slowly built up over time. So it just takes time, and some of the things is just getting going. Like, that's, even with the app, I took 2 years developing it, 2.5 years developing it, and it's just a case of, I'm never going to be happy with it.
Yeah.
You're never going to be happy with it, but you have to launch it and then figure out what the people actually want and what you need to fix. We're still always fixing little bits and bobs, but with the app, it was the basics, was bookings and payments. If you get that right, we can build on that. Same with the gym. We put a gym class on, one gym class on, get that right, fill that class up, build on that, get the most lowest valuable product you can get out there, get it out there and just start going. And then learn from that. But if let's say we set up the bookings and payment system, that Wunderbook app, and our bookings and payments weren't working, which when we started randomly they weren't. We didn't use Stripe, which is a payment processor. We tried to create our own payment processor, and that wasn't the right idea.
Right.
We ran this job called Hangfire, and I think we charged one customer 10 times by mistake. Right. Now they got a refund.
Yeah.
But it just shows you have to actually use Stripe. Is an unbelievable company that integrate all their payments and processors into that. So like, they do 3DS security and all that, and they manage all of our payments.
Very good.
So they do limit us in what we can actually do with some of the stuff, but since going with them, we've had no problems. And we got the bookings and payments right, and then we built on that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
From there. And same with the gym. We started with a small area, 5 people in the classes, built on that, 10, 2 classes, 3 classes, and just progressively built up. But it was just starting off with the lowest viable product.
Yeah. And you mentioned there a few times a partner. I don't know if it was the same business partner throughout your journey, but if they have been different partners, how did you choose your business partner? Yeah,
that was randomly. That's the hardest thing, actually, would be the hard thing. Well, we were mates from school. Now, he's randomly left the gym, and the partner who's now involved with Wunderbook, she's actually a partner at Mercer, but she grew up beside me. One of our first businesses, we sold lemonade out the front of our street.
Oh, deadly.
And I think our hook for that was we give it to charity. And I think she gave her half to charity. Shows the different mindsets. But she's very much analytical, up, down steps to get stuff done. And I'm the quite opposite. I'll get to the end and I'll just do all the work when I have to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix with that. But the partner that I had, who was working with me in the gym for probably 7 years, just before COVID, he decided to leave. He was kind of like, he had enough and he wanted to go off and set up his own thing himself.
Yeah.
He was doing online personal training. I don't think he had a young family and he didn't want to having to be forced into the gym at like 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's why he decided to leave. And now wants a little bit more security, and now he's gone working in HubSpot, I think. So
Very
he wanted out of it. So but we never had any problems really. We had a couple of teething problems where with partners, it's hard to figure out an exact balance when you're like,
yeah,
who's doing more work, who's doing less work. So you have to be really close to them. That's why you have to be really careful on who you're picking your partners with. So that it's just hard. Like, how do you value your time, or is it the effort? You get what I mean? So it's always, nobody's really going to care about the product as much as the owners are going to, no matter how much you want them to.
Yeah.
If you created it as your baby, you're going to care about it more than any one of you hired. You get what I mean? So picking a partner it's a very big thing. And I would recommend, because it happened to my old lad as well, it's like, if you can sign papers. We didn't actually sign papers at the time. We just made an agreement because we were so close. We'd known each other since we were kids.
Yeah.
But I would recommend, if it's somebody you don't know, obviously you get that written down on paper exactly.
Shareholders agreement.
Whatever way, and just get every single thing down as possible. And that's what we'll do, is if we ever go for investment, we're trying to get to a certain thing, get as far as we can without needing,
of course,
massive investment, like seed one rounds and stuff like that. So that's why we're still at the friends and family stage, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And we have enough, like we have 7,000 app users, so we're doing all right.
Fantastic.
And once we get to 10,000, we said we'll look into that, and we're going to Enterprise Ireland now.
Very good.
Seeing what they can help. But again, we still want to go as far as we can. We're not forced to do it. It's not a financial thing at the minute. So unless the person who's coming on board with Wunderbook will be adding value, do you get what I mean? Because it's not a financial thing. We could easily get a loan out. It's not a problem. Like we both have sustainable jobs, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Mine's a little bit freer than hers. Again, she's a partner of Mercer, so it's sort of like, that's a big massive company. She's an actuary, so she's very clever.
Yeah.
So it's just get as far as you can. And then when you want to grow and expand to different countries and stuff like that, that's why we're trying to get all the processes and stuff involved or fixed up here in Ireland now before we go
abroad. And just in relation to the partner from your gym, he obviously left. What was that transition like for you? Because I'd imagine he's both ran the business for a couple of years, then he wanted to drop off and do his own thing. He probably done a lot of stuff that you didn't do. Were you kind of a little bit like, shit, how am I going to manage this? Like, what way did you feel going through that kind of transition? Yeah,
that was a tough one, because it was at the start of COVID as well. So the gyms will always have a bit of loan regardless. We always take out loans to do up the gyms every couple of years anyway, and just pay it off over a period of time. So I was taking all that risk on, as well as buying him out of the business. So it was like, it was a lot, but luckily we had built up enough staff, and we always try, we don't have a massive turnover in staff because we pay our staff so well. Like we pay them, they get paid a percentage. They're always invested in the business because they get paid a percentage of how many people show up to the classes, but we also allow them to do free PTs, which they end up earning more money off their PTs than they will the class, but they understand that the class pays all the bills, like the rent and stuff like that. So we don't have a massive turnover in staff. So the staff and having two locations, it's difficult to manage both. So when he was there, he'd manage one and I'd manage the other. Yeah. But when he left, I was obviously left managing too. So getting the lads, the staff that we have on board to manage that and keep it all under the same thing. See, randomly, I did all the process in that place anyway. So he was very good with the people and getting people in. So I had all the processes set up anyway. So like that's one of the things that he didn't, I don't even know if he knew how much he was making rent, but like that's what it was. He was just happy to get his pay at the end of the month to get him his salary. So it was lucky that I was already managing that stuff, and I actually enjoyed that. So like dealing with all the software and stuff like that was stuff that I loved from my engineering days and stuff like that. So in relation, they'd probably be more of your strengths, your weaknesses. Like, how do you combat that? Do you just hire people? If you say you're terrible at accounting or finance or HR, whatever it is, you just hire someone to do that for you. Yeah, well, I'm mildly dyslexic, so I can't read or write. So I don't read. It's a bit weird that I have my own business. I can't read or write. So that's why I've been holding off on the Enterprise Ireland stuff. So that's why the partner who we have on board now is, I've just let her read the whole thing to tell me what it is. Very good. I can read, but like it just sometimes doesn't go in. It bores me. I know, yeah. So yeah, she just does some of that sort of stuff, and then if I'm writing something, I'll just use GPT. Yeah, that's all it is. Just type it in, and it will tell me what to do. No, but I write all of our posts and stuff like that because I understand the business obviously more as what we're doing. So like obviously I can write, but like to an extent of where we're going on certain things, even just the solicitor fit stuff with the terms and conditions and stuff like that. I just let her read. Yeah, do you get what I mean? And then that's how we go about it. Like, you can't really hire someone to get stuff to read read them for you, get a computer to read it out to you. Well, I listen to audiobooks more so than I'd read the books, if you get what I mean. So that's how I'd learn.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. So can you tell us a little bit about the roadmap for the business now over the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, yeah, what we're trying to do in Ireland anyway, well, because we live in Ireland, we're trying to establish the business here first of all and have the proof of the concept effectively, which we've kind of already done. And we have 7,000 app users, we have over 50 companies, which we got in literally 4 months. And we're growing. All the communities that we've talked to, they seem to like the idea. It's nice for them not to have to pay. Yeah. And the community aspect of what we're doing, all the events and stuff we're putting on and connecting together is where we want to go. But in Ireland, what we're trying to do is get the product nailed down, get all the processes nailed on. Like, so when you sign up, like again, as I was saying, I don't want to be onboarding people. It's like if you can use Google Calendar, you can use our booking system. You create an event, schedule your event, and away you go. You can create memberships to those events, but they have to be created first. And just like video processes so that that's all sorted. So we're not spending our time with that. Our time will be spent with creating content for you guys, the companies that come on board. Yeah. Integrating different things like push notifications so that when people walk by the company, you can notify them. Anyone on the app, you can be like planning their weekend or suggesting weekends for them to plan, whether it be like what stuff are you interested in, categorizing the things, giving the links back out to like social media feeds and their websites, because that's where most of their stories are, if you get what I mean. So that's what we're trying to do is click onto the app. It's very clean, crisp, nothing too complicated. Book and pay, that's it. But you can also, if you want to find out about those companies, one, you could look at our socials because we're going to be telling all their stories in a professional content. But also you can click into their companies as well, click on their website, see what they're about, and then just come to the app. Again, a lot of companies have asked us if we're going to integrate it into their websites. And our answer has been just no. Like, we've thought about it, and it's not overly hard to do, but the fact of the app being there and people going onto the app is actually what it's all about. It's that community aspect. If we give you your own schedule in your own thing, you're then linked back to having your own community. You don't have that cross-pollination, you know what I mean, with other people. So we've just decided to get against that. Plus we have the issues of it's iOS and Android, which becomes a little bit of an issue just marketing-wise and stuff like that. So having a link, you have to have both people's links on if you run an ad on socials and stuff like that. So like different things like being able to send people memberships that aren't linked to the app if you have their email address for whatever reason, if you run an ad on socials. But that's got us a lot more users as well and getting people back using the app. And once you're on the app, you can use all the other things. You just come back to it. You don't have to remember the website. You don't have to, if the website's not like set up for mobile and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about it. Everything is done on the app and it's created for mobile. Everyone has their phone these days. Everyone's on Instagram absorbing their content or TikTok. So that's where we're putting all the links to. Do you get what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do. So just those sort of updates to the app. Bookings and payments are already done. It's just all the other little updates like push notifications, links to socials and stuff like that. And to make life easier for the user, I've also been asked certain things that we, with the app, like put on waivers. Yeah, we put on waivers because we thought that would add value, but we're not putting on stuff that's going to add complications and stuff. We want it to be very simple and easy to use for the end user, first of all, then for the companies to create their schedule and put it up. Yeah. Like when we started off, we actually had a bit of an issue with, it was too easy to get set up that users were creating company accounts. Right. Because it was so easy to set up. And now we've just have registered company login. So we've kind of negated that and separated them from the app and having the app icons to download. So making it very easy for, number one, the user to use the app and make bookings and payments, which we've already done. Like one of our companies will have 1,000 cup bookings a week. And we've taken one of the companies from turning over in 6 months, we've doubled to 250 times his income in 6 months since being on us, from being on a website as well. From him using website bookings, just website bookings, from using the app and connecting them with loads of different things as well. So we're just trying to help the companies grow. Yeah, so I love the facts about your business, that a local dog groomer, they don't have a website, they're just looking to get bookings in. They can sign up to you for free. The end user pays the 2%, and it really helps them generate revenue for their business. And then further down the line, they can start look at all their digital assets and stuff. So I think it's fantastic. So you have an aspiration to grow your user base. You might look at investment. Then you're going to work out all the decreases in the business, and then from there, would you like to enter the UK market? Do you see this going into Europe, global, America? Where's the aspirations going? Yeah, again, as I say, establish the business here in Ireland. iron out all the crease. And then, next step will be, we're actually randomly launching the UK. We have pounds set up on it so you can actually do it already, but we haven't done any marketing around like that.
Okay, yeah.
I have one company in Donegal who are looking at using it, or sorry, in up north who are looking at using it as well. So that's where we're going. Next will be UK, and then because it's Wunderbook with a U, or Wunderbook, we're going to go to Germany and stuff like that. But anywhere, randomly, we use the software that we use on the back end is called Azure, and they have all the languages and stuff, so you can actually randomly already use it in some of the places. We just have to set it up for euros. Again, my little brother lives in Australia, so he's actually looking at potentially launching over there as well.
Nice.
Because there's no costs.
Yeah.
Once the software is there, the software is there. If he can get people on board, you get what I mean, using over there.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer for some small businesses. Obviously, you can understand why a more established business might be a little bit more skeptical or whatever. But like we're saying, as you were saying earlier on, it's like if you have an Instagram account and a Wunderbook account, away you go.
Yeah.
Our first company on board the company still doesn't have an Instagram account, but because most of their users were over 55 years of age. And if those guys can use it again, the app is simple to use. So those were kind of where we were soft launching the app and getting it out there. So gave it to 3 or 4 companies to see how the actual thing worked. So those guys were using it with no problem.
Yeah.
So if we can get that, but the aspirations next will be UK, which is going to be a massive market anyway. It's going to be 10 times the size of Ireland.
Yeah.
In different areas. The difficulty with that is a lot of our business is the content creation, stuff like that, but it'll be just hiring content creators over there and salespeople. I might get the lads to go over to UK and stuff like that. They'll be happy.
Content for them, yeah.
We're going to do our first away trip to Galway, I think, is next, because we have a small little hub down there with a sauna place, 2 yogis, and capture content down there and see if we can touch base with a few other companies down there in Galway and have a bit of crack down there for a day. And go
Would there be any like franchise opportunities with this if it was totally scalable, global? You know, someone like you said, someone like your brother in Australia. Yes, you know, they could use the app and build up a presence there. Yeah,
we're open to those sort of suggestions and talk like that because you want to be able to give the businesses enough clout to do the work as opposed to always hiring people. So yeah, we're looking at that, but again, it's such a small percentage.
Yeah,
you have to do such a large amount of sales, but again. So starting off, that person's going to have to commit into it, you get what I mean, and have all the process in place. But yeah, potentially, like that's what we'll do. Like 50% of 2% is only 1%. So like you're on 1%. So, Jimmy, we charge so little anyway.
Yeah.
But it can still be, again, now we're not, unfortunately, always going to be at 2%. We will probably go to 3%, but we're always going to try to keep it as fair and as possible, as low as possible for the end users as well. You don't want to be taking the mick either on that sort of stuff. But yeah, potentially grow wherever we can go and wherever the market is, we'll figure out a way of either hiring people or let's say doing a franchise sort of system or like an affiliation or whatever way it is and out-leasing the stuff. Like, so I've already been asked by some companies randomly, could they white label our app and just use the booking payments as their own little white label? But again, that's defeats the purpose and the goal and what we're about as a company.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, that's why we're kind of like, we're just going to steer away from it. There are other companies that do that, so you can just go use that.
Yeah. And is this for the long term for you? Is there an exit strategy? Obviously, you're a serial entrepreneur. You might have other interests down the line, but for now, it's all about the app.
Yeah, well, like if someone makes me an offer, I think money always talks. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you not agree? So yeah, like look, I enjoy it. So it's like something I highly enjoy. Like when in the gym business, the thing that I enjoyed was actually helping people get better. And now I find that every time I'm talking to a company, I actually genuinely get a bit of a buzz off chatting to them and saying like, these are things that have worked for me. I don't tell them what to do. Like obviously I've been in the gym business for 10 years, but I don't like being told what to do myself. So I don't tell them. I just tell them stuff that I've done that have worked, that we've tried with other companies that have worked, how they've done it. And like, use your own initiative to do whatever you want to do. Like if you like that, then go ahead with it. Like we were at a course one time for the gym and it was a powerlifting course and these guys are 150 kilos. And the course was great. It was like to get the strongest man in the world, the strongest man and women in the world. It was actually randomly the strongest woman was actually taking the course. And they lift 150, 200 kilos on the squat, no bother. They weigh 150 kilos. And this guy who was in the course as well with us went off and just implemented every single thing, chains on the bars. I was like, all your clientele are like 60 kilo women. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they don't want to be power lifters. Do you know what I mean? And he just took what they said as gospel because it was great content. Do you know what I mean? What they were selling, but like they didn't think of what their users wanted. Do you know what I mean? Who were using the gym? They didn't want to be power lifters.
Yeah,
they wanted to get into bit better shape and get little bit fitter.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go in and lift heavy weights, put on a belt, slap chalk in their hands, and stuff
Probably
like
a
that.
bit more flexibility rather than being a power lifter.
Yeah. So you can always learn off people, take what you want from it, make your own mistakes, learn from that, make more mistakes, learn from that, take more knowledge off other people, learn from that, and then just keep growing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes. Like, you're always going to have setbacks, and most people are kind of ignorant towards it anyway until they learn and make their own mistakes anyway. So you learn much more from making mistakes than you do from not trying. That's when you don't try.
About it or something like that. Yeah, it's all about the practicality.
Yeah.
So for any service-based businesses who would like to use the app, where can they find you? Where's the best place to find you?
Just go to wunderbook.ie, W-U-N to Euro. It's Wunderbook with a U. The lads have stopped me saying that now. But that, or even just our Instagram, is we have most of our contents up there on our Instagram. You can just click on, you can message us on Instagram. You can book a demo call with us on our website as well.
Very good.
Wunderbook.ie. There'll be a wunderbook.co.uk, and I randomly pre-thought about this, and I bought the wunderbook.com for 800 quid off some guy randomly when we started, and he was like, I'll give you a deal on it, because he said we were starting off and we didn't have any established at that stage. So he's like, look, I'll help you out. And he goes, hook me up if we ever do well. And I was like, yeah,
very good. Have it on camera now, so you
have to give him some
But once again, Alex, thanks very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with everything.
Cheers, Curtis. Thanks a minute.